I've been writing for the last week or so. We've been writing in New York, in his apartment, which was wonderful. And we walked the streets of New York together, and Nate knows so much about history. So he's, constantly giving me tours about, this was built then, and that happened then. And it's really interesting. No, but seriously, it's really interesting. And the fun thing, I have to tell this story. Are there people from Borculo here? Of course not. Well, anyway, maybe some of you that followed me on Twitter saw that Nate and I visited Borculo, of all places, last week or so. And it's a great story, I think so. Nate has looked... I'm not going to switch to Dutch. Jullie verstaan het wel toch, hè? Meestal. En anders moet ik maar even vertalen voor de buurman of zo. Dat was wel heel apart wat daar gebeurde. Maar in ieder geval, we went to Borculo because Nate had these documents from his ancestors. He's been doing some research, like where do I come from kind of research. So he found out that originally his family in the 1600s used to own this castle in Borculo. Yeah, we got some royal blood in the room. But anyway, so he's from the family called Family van Borculo. You're not leaving, are you? So I'll try to wrap this up as quick as I can. But anyway, so we're in Borculo. We looked up on Wikipedia where to go to find this castle or some ruins of the castle or whatever, So I looked it up on Wikipedia and it said Hoflaan. You need to go to the Hoflaan. That's where the castle used to be. And there's not much that remains of the castle, but that's where it was. So we went there. It was just a big field with fruit trees and people working there, and you couldn't see any castle. Not even some ruins or some old bricks or whatever. So Bart, of course, the way Bart is he just goes up and talks to people. So he was going through a gate into this field where these people were working. And we were like, well, let's distance ourselves from Bart. Because, we thought, well, maybe these people will get mad or something. But all of a sudden Bart yells, come on over here. And so he's talking to this guy, Eric, I think it was his name. Not that it matters, but that was his name. So we talked to Eric, and Eric, his grandfather, whatever, way back, bought the castle from the family van Borculo. So, and this guy was totally a history freak, like me is. So, of course we're asking about the castle, and this guy just lit up. He's like, oh my God, somebody finally asked me about my castle,
But not just someone asked about the castle. Ilse shows up to his door and is like, hey, can you tell me about the castle? And the guy's like...
So that was kind of nice, and then this guy said, "Well, I'm busy and I'm going on a holiday tomorrow, and can you come back?" And we said, "No, we can't come back. Very busy." And we said, "Well, we can, because it was a beautiful day. We said we can walk around a bit and have some lunch, and then how about if we call you in an hour or an hour and a half, and then." You let us know if you have time to sit with us to talk more about the castle. And because the cellars of the castle were still there. And there was an old house was built on it. So, and of course Nate is totally freaking out, oh my God. So, like he always does. So we went to have lunch, and after lunch we called this guy. I know it's taking too long. So we called this guy, and then the guy said, "Yeah, come on by." So we went back to where the castle used to be, and he said, "Come on back to the back of this old house." And so first he let us see the cellars, which was kind of amazing, really. Yeah, it was.
It sounds scary now. He was basically like, come into my basement.
It was not like that at all. But anyway, So, okay, so this guy shows us the cellars and he loves talking about it and stuff. And we already had agreed upon that if I would say the word pineapple, we would all try to leave. Somehow in a very natural manner. So, that word never came up because it was really interesting. Interesting. But anyway, so this guy says, oh, I brought some documents from the castle. So he pulls out from this plastic bag. Boom! Like 3 big file folders, like ordners, like die dikke wel. And so he's got every detail about this castle because they had done research in the ground, like with radar, and I don't know. We got the full story, man, I tell you. But it was a fantastic day. But we still haven't found family for Nate. Nobody's called Van Borculo. So if you know somebody that's called Van Borculo, in Borculo, or around Borculo, or from Borculo, whatever, something to do with Borculo, email Nate. He wants to know about this stuff. This was a story that was totally not relevant for this moment, but who cares? Anyway, so Nate and I have been writing. I'm not going to start a new story, believe me. We've been writing a lot, and we've been coming up with some awesome songs, I think, and some real special ones. And some that will drive you nuts after you hear them for months on the radio, because you can't get them out of your head. But that's a good thing. But anyway, we thought it would be nice to do the first song we ever wrote together, which we wrote in Sweden. We both got sent to Sweden. I mean, it was voluntarily, but still, you know, there was somebody that said, maybe you guys should get together in Sweden with these other people. So we went to Sweden to write with Macho Psycho in their little basement room, and that's where we first met. We got something with basements. It's a theme. Anyway, first song we ever wrote together. And before I wrap up this story, I just want to say in Dutch. No, I'm almost done. Ik wil gewoon even zeggen, I'm going to say in Dutch. Ik wil gewoon even zeggen dat ik het heel bijzonder vind, ook tijdens de moeilijke tijd die ik heb gehad, weet je wel, hoe jullie allemaal kaartjes hebben gestuurd en op Twitter berichtjes hebben geschreven. Ik dacht altijd van, weet je wel, daar gaat het niet om en dat maakt allemaal, dat is heel leuk of zo, maar het deed echt heel veel. Echt, het was heel bijzonder. Ontzettend bedankt namens mij en namens mijn familie voor alle lieve woorden. En het heeft echt veel betekend. Dus, en dit liedje heet Val.